In December 2025, the world watches as China launches a $50 billion mega canal, a project that's about far more than concrete and steel. This canal, stretching 767 kilometers from Jiangxi to Zhejiang, is a bold move to secure China's economic future and reduce reliance on global trade routes dominated by rivals. It's a direct response to supply chain shocks and rising tensions with the United States. By integrating its inland provinces with coastal powerhouses, China aims to lower transport costs and boost regional economies. The canal is a symbol. China is building resilience, not just infrastructure. The world is paying attention because when China acts on this scale, global markets and geopolitics shift. But this story isn't just about China's interior. It's tied to the fate of another iconic waterway, the Panama Canal. For over a century, Panama has been the linchpin of global trade, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific. Now, as China builds its own arteries, it's challenging American influence in the Western Hemisphere. The new Chinese canal is a move in a global chess game with the world's oceans as the board, the stakes: who controls the flow of goods, and who shapes the future of global commerce. This is the opening move in a contest that will define the next era of world order. The world is watching, and the game has just begun. Canals have always been the lifeblood of empires, transforming trade and power. The Panama Canal, opened in 1914, remains a vital shortcut for global commerce, handling over 5% of sea trade and 40% of U.S. container traffic. Its neutrality is crucial, but that principle is under strain as China's economic rise makes it a major user, and a potential target for disruption. For Beijing, dependence on the Panama Canal is a vulnerability. What if access is restricted? What if tensions escalate? China's answer: diversify, build resilience, and create alternatives. The $50 billion domestic canal is a calculated move, echoing America's own assertion of power a century ago. This isn't just about moving goods, it's about securing a nation's future. Canals have always shaped destinies. Today, they're at the heart of a new, global contest. The stakes have never been higher. Panama, with just over 4 million people, is caught in the crossfire of US-China rivalry. It welcomed Chinese investment through the Belt and Road Initiative, while maintaining close ties with the US, but as tensions rose, balancing both became impossible. The real contest isn't for the canal itself, but for the ports and logistics hubs that surround it, many operated by a Hong Kong-based company with Beijing ties. Washington fears China's presence could become a strategic threat. In February 2025, and February 2005, Panama withdrew from the Belt and Road, signaling a pivot back to the U.S. A month later, a U.S.-led consortium tried to buy the canal's key ports, sparking a furious response from Beijing. The deal stalled, but the message was clear. Neither side will easily give ground. The battle for Panama's future is far from over. President Molino's government is walking a diplomatic tightrope. Withdrawing from the Belt and Road was a calculated move to reassure Washington and attract U.S. investment. Soon after, Panama signed a new security agreement, allowing more U.S. troops for joint operations. A reversal of decades of declining American presence. For Panama, it's about security and leverage. For the U.S., it's about regaining influence. American officials have pressed hard, warning of the risks of Chinese economic ties and promising investment. Panama's trade figures show the dilemma. The U.S. is its top export market, but China is a close second. Molino frames his actions as pragmatic nationalism, securing Panama's interests, not just picking sides. Experts say Panama is leveraging great power competition for its own benefit, keeping commercial ties with China even as it leans toward the U.S. The canal's prosperity depends on remaining open to all. Molino's gamble: secure U.S. protection without alienating China. A high-wire act with global implications. The stakes for Panama's future have never been higher. The U.S.-led bid to buy Panama's main ports was more than business. It was a geopolitical showdown. BlackRock's $23 billion offer targeted a Hong Kong firm with Beijing ties, aiming to control the canal's logistical gateways. China saw it as economic aggression. The U.S. saw Chinese control as a security risk. The deal quickly became a diplomatic crisis, with Beijing applying intense pressure. By April, the bid was indefinitely postponed. Regulatory hurdles cited, but geopolitics was the real reason. The episode exposed how infrastructure is now a battleground for global power. The standoff left Panama and other nations wary. Are commercial contracts safe, or just pawns in a bigger game? The lines between commerce and security are blurred, and the contest for control is only intensifying. The future of the world's key ports is more uncertain than ever. While the world's attention is on Panama, China is quietly transforming its own economic landscape. The Jiangxi-Zhejiang Canal is a strategic masterstroke, connecting inland resources to coastal factories, slashing logistics costs, and boosting competitiveness. It's central to China's dual circulation strategy: strengthen internal supply chains, reduce vulnerability to global shocks. The canal is national security by other means, ensuring vital materials keep flowing, even if maritime routes are threatened. It's also a tool for regional development, bringing jobs and growth to lagging provinces. By integrating Jiangxi with the coast, Beijing hopes to ease inequality and social tension. The $50 billion investment will ripple through construction, manufacturing, and services. This is more than a waterway. It's economic policy, security, and social engineering in one. China is building resilience from the inside out. The world should take note. China's strategy goes far beyond its borders. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, it's building a global web of ports, railways, and corridors to bypass US-dominated chokepoints. The Chancay megaport in Peru, opened in 2024, is a game-changer, cutting shipping times to China by 12 days and bypassing the Panama Canal. China is also investing in the Polar Silk Road, the China-Pakistan economic corridor, and modernizing ports from Africa to Greece. Each project is a thread in a vast network, giving Beijing flexibility and leverage. The goal: make traditional choke points less critical and insulate China from blockades or disruptions. Host nations become more economically tied to China, shifting global alignments. The US and its allies now face a world where China is building the trade routes of the future. The old map is being redrawn. The race is on to control not just today's routes, but tomorrow's. The stakes: global influence for decades to come. China's new canal and global trade network are reshaping the world's economic and political order. China stands to gain most, boosting its economy, security, and influence. Panama faces uncertainty. Its canal may lose importance as new routes emerge, and its pivot to the US risks alienating China. The US is fighting to maintain its dominance, but China's long-term vision and deep pockets are shifting the balance. The era of uncontested American control over global trade is ending. South American nations with new Pacific ports may see their economies reoriented toward Asia. Europe's supply chains may increasingly run through Chinese-operated ports. The shipping industry must adapt to new routes and realities. Environmental risks, like droughts affecting the Panama Canal, add urgency to the search for resilient alternatives. The global game is changing, and not everyone will win. The winners will be those who adapt fastest to the new order. The losers risk being left behind. As 2025 ends, the world's trade routes are being redrawn, not by armies, but by engineers and financiers. China's mega canal is a symbol of a world in flux, challenging a century of established order. The contest between China and the US is playing out in Panama and beyond, with smaller nations caught in the middle. The choices these countries make will shape their sovereignty and prosperity for decades. The neutrality of global trade routes is under threat, and the stakes are real for everyone. The flow of goods affects prices, jobs, and security worldwide. The construction of new canals and ports may seem distant, but their impact will reach every shore. Understanding this shifting landscape is essential. The old certainties are gone. The future is more complex and contested. The rise of new powers brings both opportunity and risk. The path forward is unwritten. Navigating it will require vigilance and wisdom. The world is entering a new era, and the waters ahead are anything but calm.